I think it's important to note that there is not a job in supply chain, that there is no job called supply chain in this marketplace. There are a host of jobs within supply chain. So a way to look at it is similar to engineering. There's no job just called engineer. There are civil, there are architectural, different types of engineers. Similarly, within the supply chain marketplace, there are a lot of career opportunities, which makes it very dynamic. That means you can have a lot of focus areas, whether in planning or logistics or production or sourcing. There are a variety of different roles that you can play and gain the experience to lead effectively an organization. But it's also important to note that with these varieties comes a challenge, because there is no one defined career path for an individual. That I can't talk to a freshman or a sophomore in college and say, here's the first job that you're going to get, here are the experiences, here are the credentials, and this is how you're going to become a supply chain professional or a supply chain leader or global supply chain executive. There are different entry points, there are different skills and competencies that they have, but most importantly, going back to Kent's point about pervasive, broad thinking, analytical capabilities to evaluate across an enterprise, knowing your vendors, knowing your customers and your customer's customer or your vendor's vendor. It's a much higher level of expectation for these supply chain professionals. So first, the bar has been raised for supply chain professionals and the competencies that they have to have. Secondly, career paths. We need to invest more in career paths for organizations, and most importantly, be able to explain them to high schoolers and individuals entering college. This is still not a career of choice. 2 months ago, we were explaining supply chain to everybody in the world. Nobody understood what supply chain was. In less than 2 months, we're defending supply chain to everybody in the world and why it hasn't kept up with personal protection equipment or surges and consumer products. We've seen the benefit of supply chain effectively running. We've also seen the fragility of supply chains when we have a disruption. So having individuals with the appropriate knowledge and experience to address these challenges and disruptions, not only to prevent them or avoid them, but also to respond to them, because as John pointing out, we're not going to end up with the same disruption in the near future. It'll be a different type of disruption. We've had tsunamis, we've had recessions, we've had terrorism, we've had cybersecurity challenges. This is another aspect of disruption that will be incorporated into the planning and resiliency and risk mitigation for organizations, and you need to have people with those competencies. Also want to piggyback on a couple of items that John was pointing out in terms of diversity and inclusion, and specifically on women in supply chain. We just completed our study, salary survey for our organization. And interestingly, we're seeing parity for hiring of gender diversity. There is no difference between what a starting female versus a male will get in supply chain. The challenge comes is the longer that they stay in the field, the greater the income disparity. So within 5 to 10 years, you're starting to see a 15 to 20% disparity between men and women. Also, the job opportunities that are afforded women are not consistent with the same that they're afforded men. And then you can start to include different types of diversity, as John was pointing out, not just gender, that there are a variety of different categories that we want to pay attention to. Most importantly, this is a job that seeks qualified, competent, and individuals that want to make an impact. Supply chain does make an impact on people's lives. You can see it across the globe, not only in terms of the benefit, but some of the challenges that we've experienced. Median pay for individuals entering the field is exceptional. For an associate's degree, the median income is over $60,000 with an associate's degree. With a bachelor's degree, it's $78,000, and with an advanced management degree, it's over $95,000. They're paying because the individuals contribute to the success of the organization, and those individuals that are credentialed with our certification or other organizational certifications do outperform their counterparts in the marketplace. This is a dynamic field that yearns for individuals that want to make an impact, that want to make a change in people's lives, and yet we're still struggling to find enough individuals that are competent and capable. This is the time to get into supply chain. On the backside of this recovery, and we hope it's sooner than later, the demand for competent and capable supply chain professionals is going to be significant. It was before this pandemic. It will be even more so on the backside of this. The hope is that we'll see this, not only this opportunity, but met with not only baccalaureate programs, advanced management degrees that like Loyola provides, but also with certifications that individuals can rapidly gain the competency to prepare themselves for the jobs that are existing today, and more importantly, for the way that they'll evolve in the future.